What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Over the Octagon podcast. This week, we're breaking down the upcoming UFC pay-per-view between Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis for the Middleweight Championship of the world. Now, there's a lot of people out there, not saying us, but think that Izzy doesn't even deserve this title shot against DDP, that DDP lost his last fight against Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland should be getting a rematch right now and not Israel Adesanya. Let us know down below in a comment what you think about that. Also, this is the card we have. We have a great matchup, been dubbed who is the real African champion, Israel Adesanya or Dricus du Plessis. Dricus has said that he breathes African air, that he trains in Africa, born in Africa, lives in Africa. Israel Adesanya, obviously, someone that spends a lot of time in New Zealand now, right? And this has been the buildup of this fight since the beginning. Let me know what you think. Who do you have in this matchup coming up this Saturday night on ESPN Plus, UFC pay-per-view, Israel Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis? Give me your picks. Also, some good co-main events between Steve Erceg and Kai Kara France. Got a lot of good fights on this card coming up. The boys are stoked. Let us know your picks in a comment down below. And as always, if you're not already, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and like the damn video, man. Peace. See you on the next one.
Hey, pussy, are you still there?
I actually admire that you can actually be this fake. And like when the TV comes on, how you can just change. You're the scum of the earth.
You don't doubt me, I couldn't do it. The odds that I couldn't do it. Look at me now.
What's happening, baby?
What it do? What it do?
Back again, another episode of Over the Octagon podcast with your favorite MMA degenerates. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music, be a friend. Turn on automatic downloads. Never miss a future episode.
And then go follow the damn YouTube.
Yeah, subscribe to the YouTube on all social medias, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever. Look up Over the Octagon. We're there. Drop a follow. But anyway, so we're here, man, to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that's UFC 305 this Saturday in Perth, Australia. So going to be an interesting fight time there too. I feel like it's kind of weird. We're just coming off this Manchester card where they're fighting like wee hours of the morning. Now these guys are going to be fighting at like 10 a.m.
Really?
Their time. Yeah, it's a 10 p.m. Eastern normal time for us.
It's normal time for us, but they're fighting that early?
They're going to be fighting early in the morning. Yeah, they're going to be fighting in the morning.
I mean, I'd definitely rather fight at 10 a.m. than 6 a.m.
Right. For sure. But so yeah, main evented by Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya. It's pretty good card from top to bottom, but let's just dive into the main event first.
Yeah.
Because this is the
I have
big one.
I have different thoughts than you probably on this one. I think I've already expressed that a little bit.
Oh, so by the way, they are about 12 hours ahead of us. Actually, they are 12 hours ahead of us. So let's assume that the main event will take place at, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. Eastern time. So it'll be about 12:30 or 1 p.m. in Perth.
On Sunday.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah, they're in the future.
Not bad for them. Fuck that. It's not bad.
It's not bad. Just different. It's odd. It's kind of weird. But yeah, so yeah, who do you like? You like Dricus in this?
Yeah, weirdly enough, I know it sounds crazy, but I've been fooled so many times recently with people winning that I was like, ain't no fucking way this person's winning. So I'm fully convinced now that every single person that holds a strap or is fighting for a strap can come out of nowhere and win a fucking title, dude. I'm just fully convinced. I've seen Sean Strickland hold a belt.
Right.
I see fucking Bilal Muhammad holding a belt.
Yeah.
Dricus du Plessis holding a belt. Like, dude, I'm done. Fuck it, dude. Anybody can win a world title if they're fighting for it. I'm done thinking otherwise. I don't care if you're fucking 25-0 or fucking whatever.
But so Dricus du Plessis is the current champion. So are you
Correct.
saying that you wouldn't be surprised if Izzy as the challenger wins?
No. You got to take Izzy out of it because Izzy was a champ for a very long time.
Sure,
So
okay.
he's skilled enough. Like, if he wins, I'm like, okay, no surprise there. If Izzy was like, someone who's never held the belt before and was just a random person, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if the roles were reversed and Izzy was the champ and Dricus was fighting him, I would be like, oh yeah, Izzy's gonna fucking steamroll him. I'm no longer have that mindset anymore because I've seen too many challengers that were, because technically he's probably not the favorite in this fight, if I had to guess.
Who?
Dricus is probably not the favorite.
He's not. He's a slight underdog. It's pretty even odds. Fairly even odds.
Being
at
the underdog
110.
as a champion is just like a slap in the face.
Yeah, or it's accurate and he's a legitimate champion.
Correct. So we're gonna find out. And I go back and like look at it like it's true. He beat Robert Whittaker fucking like it was no problem. People said, oh, we got like it was just a lucky fight. Robert was not there, blah, blah, blah. He beat Sean Strickland, who beat Izzy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm tired of taking these people for like taking their quote unquote, like people hate them. They think they suck type shit. Like Bilal, fuck him. He sucks. But like DDP has actually fought in some sort of decent like fights here recently that wouldn't lead me to believe that he could possibly beat Izzy.
So, yeah, I mean, kind of. Right? Like, kind of. I mean, DDP.
Good fight. Sean Strickland, champion. Good fight.
Okay. Right before that, Darren Till.
Yeah. But he also fought, what's his name, too? The guy that's in the PFL now, didn't he? With the gold hair, Derek Brunson.
Yeah.
And steamrolled him.
Right. Is that like a good thing? I don't,
I mean, it's definitely guys who were good at one point.
I don't think that, but I'm not sure that his,
no, his record doesn't compare to Izzy's. No.
I don't think his resume is really all that great. I also, I do think that if he were to fight Whittaker again, he loses. I don't think that was the Robert. I don't know what was wrong, but something was wrong.
Yeah, but like I said, you sound like everyone else though. But like we've seen it all happen now at this point.
Right.
There's no I don't care.
I'm only bringing that up. I'm only bringing that up to really discuss this fight. And in bringing up that to discuss this matchup with Israel Adesanya, we watched Izzy have what other people would say was an off night against Sean Strickland.
Sure.
Right? And he lost the strap. He hasn't fought in a while. I mean, that's almost a year ago. Right? That was the end of 2023, where he lost the belt to Strickland. Hadn't fought since then. He's taken some time. But I don't think he's been inactive. Like, he's been training. He's like...
Sure.
I think this is one of, if not the most motivated versions of Israel Adesanya that we're ever going to see. That's what I really believe.
Sure. Could be true. But how can we not say the same about Dricus? I mean, you never know. When you hold the strap, we know what happens, dude. It improves a man. When you're the champion of the world, it improves a man. And his first title defense is against...
That didn't happen for Strickland, though.
I mean, you could have argued Strickland beat him, but
he didn't
argue that. But I'm just saying, okay, one out of the plenty that when they got the strap,
the motivation factor being on Izzy's side for me is because he's coming off that loss to Sean Strickland that most people would say he probably shouldn't have lost.
Well, yeah,
right? Like that's a fight he
without
shouldn't
a
have
doubt.
lost. And then it's same thing to me. His first, 2 fights or whatever with Alex Pereira in MMA, like, he loses the strap to him in the first one. The second one, he comes
Sure.
back, he literally knocks him the fuck out. And that's arguably, there's a case to be made for him being pound for pound number 1, Alex Pereira. Izzy knocked him the fuck out, right?
That's
Then
true.
you bring in factors of weight cut, and I get all that, but I'm just saying, like, that's what motivation could do, because he went into that fight knocking out Alex. He went into that fight saying, like, win or nothing.
Sure.
And I think
look,
this is
I'm
the
not
same
saying
thing.
I'm not saying Izzy shouldn't be the favorite, because by all means, if anybody should be a favorite, it's him, because one, he was the champion for a minute.
Sure,
just
based
like
off his resume.
yeah, just like Aljo going in to fight Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley wasn't the favorite going into that fight.
Right.
Aljo was.
Sure.
Same scenario. But
Sure.
I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to count out Dricus, because I've seen Izzy fail, regardless of his motivation. When he is not on, he's losing that fight.
Yeah.
So who's to say he has another bad night? It happens.
I wonder too if just stylistically, like, Dricus is fucking tough, dude.
He's a brute, dude.
Yeah. He's tough.
And he may get pissed off that he can't knock that dipshit out.
Right. I wonder if that's going to give Izzy problems. Like, Dricus is going to be able. Yeah, Dricus is going to be able to run through and walk through shots.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I could just see
and
that
if he
giving,
pins him up
Izzy
against
a problem.
the cage, like if he somehow like just backs him up into the corner, like then you're talking like some Ilya Taporia shit up against the cage, like just
Could be
pure heavy hand boxing at that point. And Izzy's long, Izzy's lanky, so the only reason he got that shot off on Alex is because he got the distance. He was able to spread the distance out to land that punch. If it was up close, Dricus, I feel like, has the advantage of an up close striking battle.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have the size and the length.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that he would want to, keep it in close really at all.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He wants to keep it at distance, uses kicks, uses just distance control. Because like I said, Dricus is a brute, dude. It's like fighting someone who's just coming at you for 25 minutes without stopping.
Right. And he ate Strickland's jab, right? Like, Strickland hit him with that jab a ton. It's really the only thing he did real well in that fight. And, it didn't really stop Dricus at all. And he's willing to take a few to give a few.
Fuck yeah. He's like the middleweight Pantoja. Just walks into every shot, dude, but just keeps coming like a zombie, dude.
Right. So, all right. Well, then whatever. Give me your prediction. Who you got winning? Dricus du Plessis, Israel Adesanya, and method of victory.
I'll give you 2 methods of victory. I'm going to give you Izzy by decision if it happens, and I'm going to give you Dricus by knockout.
No.
That's
Stop.
the only
you can't.
2 outcomes
I asked for a pick, not a give me a pick of both guys and how they'll each win. No. What's your pick for the main event? Who do you have winning? One fighter. Who do you have winning, and how are they going to win?
I'm going to take Dricus by knockout.
All right. I got Izzy by decision.
See, that's the fucking same shit I just said. That's the only way it's going to go.
Right, but you're trying to take both. That way, when one or the other happens, you can be like, I was right. Like,
no, I could have just said Izzy wins or DDP wins, because that would make no sense. I gave you an outcome for Izzy if there was.
I asked for an outcome. I said, give me a fighter and method of victory. You tried to
I'm
give
taking
me
Dricus
each fighter.
by knockout.
All right,
and
Dricus
if Izzy
by
was
knockout.
to win, it would be by
doesn't
decision.
matter. No, your pick out of the 2 is
Dricus
and by knockout.
Yes, correct.
All right. Fair enough. That's the main event. I'm stoked for that fight. I am, honestly.
It's gonna be a
I
good
feel
fight.
like I don't. Do you feel like this card has been like marketed properly? Like,
No,
I
it's
feel
been
like
horribly talked about. Like,
Yeah, like,
you haven't
what
heard
the
shit. You had all week last week with a horrible fight card to promote it, and you didn't even promote it at all.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, like, as far as how they're marketing this card. Maybe they're marketing it a ton overseas and in
Maybe.
Africa, South Africa, in Australia, and in those places, in Perth, where the actual card's going to be. I don't know. I'm not seeing it on the East Coast of the United States.
No, not at all.
You know what I
Me either.
mean? So I just think it's really odd because it's a good card. I mean, like, you have the middleweight championship as the main event, which has always been a phenomenal division with good title fights. And then we get into your co-main event, Kai Kara-France versus Steve Erceg. Steve Erceg, they just gave a title shot against Pantoja. He lost, but still looked fucking good.
Still look good, dude.
And mind you, at the time, Steve Erceg was ranked 10th. He's now ranked 7th. Obviously, Makayev not being in the UFC anymore and pulling him from the rankings helped that and whatever. But Steve Erceg's stock essentially went up from losing.
And people could have said that, like, he could have won that fight had he won, like, one round. Like, he needed, like, one round to potentially win the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It was exactly what you would think it would be, I think, right? Like, you knew that maybe, he could land a shot, but, it felt going into it like we were going to see, another example of there's levels to this, and Steve Erceg just not being on Pantoja's level. And that's really what we saw. But now you have a guy like Kai Kara-France, who is the 4th-ranked flyweight right now, who's coming off a loss to Amir Albazi, who's coming off a loss to Brandon Moreno. He hasn't won a fight since March of 2022.
Yeah.
So he has not won a fight in 2.5 years. He hasn't fought in over a year.
Yeah.
In about 14 months it'll be since he last fought. I like Erceg in this. I think this is set up for Erceg to win.
Without a doubt. Erceg's going to win with ease, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the things that Pantoja did really well that gave Steve Erceg trouble, Kai Kara-France doesn't do the same things well. He doesn't have the same level of grappling.
Pantoja is that fighter. If you can beat Pantoja, you have to be good all around.
Yeah,
because he can wrestle, he can strike, and he can take fucking hits. So Pantoja is a tough opponent for anyone. So for him to give Pantoja even a slight bit of trouble, Kai Kara-France isn't giving him remotely close to that trouble. Yeah, now, Kai Kara-France used to be pretty solid, but that delay, that long layoff, and all that shit, that's going to play a big factor.
Yeah, and I think I agree with you 100% on that, because I really think that, had this been a year ago, let's say this was 6 months ago.
Sure.
Right? And Kai Kara-France fought Amir Albazi in June and lost, and now this is December and he's fighting Steve Erceg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'd think as much of it, but just he's lost his last 2.
Yep.
And again, he hasn't won since March of. He hadn't won in 2.5 years.
Nope.
It's just a long time. It's a long layoff. Maybe we'll see, but
he ain't finishing Steve Erceg.
I would say all momentum on this and just the trajectory of each one of these fighters' careers favors Steve Erceg. Yeah. I think Steve Erceg's stock is going to continue to rise. He's a fucking good fighter. He's young. He's only going to get better. Kai Kara-France is that guy that was kind of on the cusp, and then he lost to Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Albazi. And it's kind of like he's ranked 4th, but he's kind of far from a title shot, I feel like.
Well, what's
going
to end up happening is Erceg's going to beat him. They'll flip roles, and then Kai Kara-France will just be the gatekeeper of the flyweight division. He'll stay at 7, and he'll gatekeep the 10 to 15. Yeah. That 10 to 15 rank.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he seems like that type of fighter, to be fair.
If he's active enough. Most gatekeepers are active. That's the only thing. Kevin Holland dubbed himself a gatekeeper, really of 2 different divisions.
Fought 3 times last year.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time, guys like that are just game, and they fight fairly often throughout the year.
Sure.
That obviously hasn't been,
because they know win or lose, they're going to stay right there anyways, because they're going to eventually beat 2 more people and be right back there again.
Right back there, yeah. So that's your co-main event. I mean, you had top ranked flyweights. Flyweight fights are always fucking fun.
They are fun.
And Steve Versailles, just fought for a title. I think that this is a great matchup. Then you go to lightweight.
Excited for this one.
Mateusz Gamrot and Dan Hooker. So Mateusz Gamrot's the number 5 ranked lightweight. A wrestler, I believe, yeah?
Yeah.
Gamrot. And Dan Hooker, who's ranked 11th. I'm not going to lie to you, brother. I really don't feel like Dan Hooker has a shot in hell in this fight.
No? I think the only way Dan Hooker wins this is if he just survives getting. I mean, he's going to have to get submitted because Dan Hooker can take a punch, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't think Gamrot's going to knock him out. But then again, I don't know. He knocked out Fiziev, but that was like by injury, though, right? That was that was Fiziev got injured in that fight, tore his ACL.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a big
but Gamrot and Dos Anjos, that was a good fight. I remember watching that.
Yeah,
I have to rewatch that fight again.
Yeah, Gamrot and RDA. RDA isn't even a lightweight anymore. He's moving up to 170. Gamrot beat Fiziev, but yeah, that was injury. I don't even think we've seen Fiziev since, right?
No,
I don't think he's come back. I don't know. I mean, he lost to Dariush. He beat Arman Sarukian.
Yeah, but I think that one, I don't know. Sarukian's gotten 10 times better since that fight.
For sure.
So,
but still, right?
Vinny,
yeah, I mean, I don't,
and he seems to think that if he beats Dan Hooker, he's right in line for a title, which I disagree with.
At lightweight, yeah, I mean,
you got a lot of people, I feel like, kind of right there in the front.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, Dan Hooker's 11th, so it doesn't necessarily do much for him there.
I mean, it moves to number 5 if he wins.
He is 5 now.
No,
I mean,
Hooker
for Gamrot.
Okay,
Gamrot. Sure. For Gamrot, you have Poirier ahead of him, Gaethje ahead of him, Oliveira ahead of him, and Arman Sarukian.
Yeah, that's 4 people. I mean, he has an argument to maybe fight Arman for if he beats one more person.
I think Arman will fight Islam since they're both. Well, Arman's like suspended, and then Islam has apparent injury.
But he can't. They're saying he can't fight till maybe November, December, at earliest
of next year or this year.
This year, but they don't know if Islam's going to be ready to go by then to defend his belt.
Correct.
So that's why Arman was like, "I want to do a interim belt," which is stupid.
Well, I mean, it's possible since. So Oliveira's coming off a loss to Arman. Gaethje's coming off a loss to Holloway. Poirier's coming off a loss to Islam.
Yep.
It's possible. I don't know if it's like a fucking big crowd pleaser or a
Gamrot Sarukian.
Yeah, I mean, if Gamrot beats Dan Hooker, I mean, I don't know if anybody really wants to see that. If you're listening to this and you genuinely want to see Mateusz Gamrot versus Arman Sarukian for like an interim lightweight title in some weird way, please let me know. Either comment on the YouTube or find us on social media and let me know that you're stoked to see that, because I don't believe that a single one of you people exist. I don't think anybody in the world genuinely thinks that's a good idea for the lightweight division.
I still think Justin Gaethje's kind of owed one, though.
He is.
I feel like he's still owed one because he was definitely one. He was next in line for a title shot, and
Correct.
He took the fight with Max to make 300 the greatest fucking event known to man. I feel like Dana White has an IOU for Justin Gaethje at some point for a title shot against Islam.
I would definitely agree with that. Yeah. So we'll have to see. I mean, but he got knocked the fuck out. He needs to take some time away.
He does.
The same
That's
shit
what I'm
that
saying.
happened to him doesn't happen to, or the same shit that happened to Volk doesn't happen to fucking Gaethje.
And Gaethje's fucking, his brain is physically just like, I'll go out there and do it.
But either way, I mean, look, this is a top 10. Well, Hooker's 11th, but arguably this is a top 10 fight in the lightweight division, which has been, one of the greatest divisions the UFC has. Gamrot is a minus 325 favorite, by the way.
Yeah, I see that.
So that's a big one. Now we get into some big boys, heavyweights. Fuck it. They're going to bang. I don't care. I like this shit. Tai Tuivasa, Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
I think
It's not
is going to knock Tai Tuivasa out, dude.
You think?
Yeah.
I like Rozenstruik in this too.
Yeah, this might be the Jeff Hardy or the Dan Hardy exit for Tai Tuivasa. He's been knocked out the last 2 fights.
Yeah, I will say that Rozenstruik lost to Almeida, but that was he actually submitted him. And then but Rozenstruik beat Gaziv, which a lot of people thought
he was going to lose.
Gaziv was a fucking killer and he was going to, whatever. And Gaziv beat him up, dude. He quit, remember? Or Rozenstruik beat him up, remember? Gaziv quit in the corner and just couldn't continue. He was fucking exhausted. He was getting beat up real bad. I think his eye got fucked up or something.
He also won the decision with Curtis Blades, too.
Right. So in this, listen, if there's one thing that's true, it's that Tai Tuivasa is going to fucking bang, dude. And Tai Tuivasa I think he's kind of like a Derek Lewis in a way. He can fucking knock out anybody.
Sure, but he also he only kind of, I feel like Tai Tuivasa is cool, he's popular, he's a fan favorite, but if he didn't knock out Derek Lewis, or he wouldn't be shit, to be fair. Yeah, I feel like nobody would have gave a fuck about him until he knocked out Derek Lewis.
He gave us one of the best Greg Hardy knockout highlights we have too. He
That's true.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, 1, 2, he was on a heater, big win streak, beat Derek Lewis, and then he got Cyril Gane. He lost to Cyril. He got knocked out by Cyril Gane. Then he got Pavlovich. He got knocked out by Pavlovich.
That's 2 motherfuckers.
Then he got Volkov. He got submitted by Volkov. Then he got Tybura. He got submitted by Tybura.
Yep. And Tybura sucks.
He's on. Yeah, I mean, those are just. Heavyweight gets really weird out of the top 3. Once you get out of the top 3 or even 5 of heavyweight, dude, it gets really weird. And they, I don't know.
I feel like Rozenstruik wins the fight, though.
I do too. Yeah, I like Rozenstruik in this. He's a minus 230 favorite.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I like Rozenstruik, but Tai Tuivasa, home turf of Australia.
That's true.
That man can put people out. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, he'll give you a show. It's always nice to see.
Yeah. This is not going to be one of the boring heavyweight hug fests that we had to sit through at the Apex last week. That's for sure. So, opening up your main card, at welterweight, 170 pounds, Li Jingliang and Carlos Pratis. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know much about this one. I know Pratis is on. He beat Radke. He beat Giles in the UFC. This is only his 3rd fight in the UFC. But I think Jing Liang lost to D-Rod, and that was his last fight, and that was over 2 years ago. Or that was almost 2 years ago.
He's another fan favorite, too. People like him.
Yeah, it's because of that suit he wore that one time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then he went out and lost.
D-Rod, though. That was kind of...
Right. I mean, he lost to Chimaev. He beat Salikov, and Salikov's literally 43 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, whatever. And then he lost to D-Rod, you know? And, this is another one. I think this is a main card. Carlos Pratis, man, this is his 3rd fight in the UFC, and he's opening up the main card on a big UFC pay-per-view in Perth, Australia.
Yeah, why didn't you do Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos? Come on, give me some cheeks to start out. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. Keep that on the prelims. This is going to be Carlos Pratis' fucking coming out party, dude. I believe.
Is it that you're that excited to start the card out with that?
I think it's his coming out party. I think you're I think.
Well, I guess it's fitting for the world's gayest main event, right? The coming out party.
It's got to be correct, and it's got to be an all male main card.
Yeah,
you can't have any women's MMA
Can't
on
have
the
it. Yeah,
gayest.
you can't.
Right.
You can't. That's true.
Prelims, we get Junior Tafa.
Yeah, Walter Walker, Johnny Walker's brother.
Yeah, Junior Tafa, which, so, all right, so it's the same. I get him and his brother, Justin Tafa, confused, but Junior is the one that stepped in for Justin last time.
And then got knocked out.
Yeah, he got beat up pretty badly by DeLima. So he's a slight favorite in that fight. But those boys, same thing, similar to Tai Tuivasa, like, always going to put on a show. Should be a fun one. Looks like he's fighting a big boy.
Yes,
Walter with a V. Walter Walker.
Yeah, it's Johnny Walker's brother.
It's not Johnny Walker's brother, dude.
It 100% is Johnny Walker's brother.
No way.
I swear.
How's Johnny Walker like a black Brazilian Irishman, and this dude is a white Brazilian named Walter? I don't even know what's happening over there.
It's
they're
Johnny
brothers,
Walker's brother, I'm telling you, dude.
All right, so Junior Tafa, Walter Walker. All right, yeah, Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, I mean
Luana Santos just won. Like she just had a banger fight, dude. I think recently, like within the last 2 months.
Back in July,
she just won in July, dude, and she kicked that girl's ass.
First
now
round
she's getting
submission.
a fucking top 15 fight.
Right. Well, women's MMA gets weird, dude, and women's flyweight, it gets weird. Like in any other division anywhere, Casey O'Neill's not ranked.
No, not at all. She lost to Jennifer Maia. She got her ass whooped by Jennifer Maia for 3 straight rounds.
Yeah. So, I don't know, brother, but listen.
I'm cool with Luana Santos in the top 15.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a good one for the fans. This is a good one for the boys. It's gonna be a good Saturday night. Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns, Gilbert Burns' brother.
Dude, we got all the brothers on this card, dude.
All right, cool.
The battle of the brothers. We got Herbert Burns and Walter Walker.
Oh no, okay. I'm sorry. I saw Jack Jenkins. I was about to say he's the biggest favorite on the card, but he's not. The very next fight on the early prelims is the biggest.
Jesus.
So Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns, but Jack Jenkins is a minus 800 favorite, native to Australia. I wonder how this is going to be. Like, are Australians going to sweep and get all the dubs, or are they going to lose?
Only in the prelims, dude. It's like all the Australians are on the prelims, and the only one on the main card is Tai Tuivasa and fucking Steve Erceg.
And Kai Kara France. Kai Kara France and Steve Erceg are both from Kai Kara France, New Zealand. Same shit. It's the same thing, dude. It's it's right there. It's the same thing. Same thing with Izzy. Like, Izzy says Nigeria, but then he moved to New Zealand when he was like a boy. So I don't even know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Real African champion.
That's why Dricus is the true African champion.
Yeah, we're gonna find out who the real African champion is this Saturday night at UFC 305 live on pay-per-view, ESPN Plus. Order now. But either way, early prelims, couple early prelims. Not much to talk about there, but I'm sure there'll be some bangers. Like I said, Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos, Junior Tafa on the prelims, and then, I think a pretty stacked main card. Or not stacked, but, I mean, it's a good main card.
Better than 301?
301 was Dustin Poirier.
302. No, was it 2 or 3? Which one had the Steve Erceg Pantoja main event?
That was... Oh, I'm sorry. 302 was Poirier. 301 was Steve Erceg Pantoja.
Yeah, that was not a great pay-per-view.
Nah. Well, they were just coming off 300. They had every good fighter on the roster fought on 300. So what were they supposed to do?
Yeah, that card had...
Pantoja was the only one that didn't fight.
Yeah, but remember, but for real, though, that was when we saw the return of Jose Aldo.
True.
So...
Fact. Yeah, you're right.
Dude, there was the fight of the night, too. That had Michael Pereira,
That's true.
and Paterio.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that card was kind of banger.
That was in Brazil, right?
That was in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, that's right. So, Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like this card. It's good. Either way, we're gonna be watching it.
Yep.
We fucking watched that bullshit
It's pretty stacked week of fighting, dude. We got Dana White Contender Series,
tomorrow
tough
night.
semifinals,
Yep.
and then 305.
So tomorrow night, we're recording this on Monday. Should come out tomorrow. So Tuesday night, we have Dana White's Contender Series at
Yep.
what, 7 or
o'clock.
8? 10?
Oh, maybe it is 7 then. Fuck,
Yeah,
I
what are you
don't
talking
know.
about? 10? The fuck? No, it's at like 8 or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is at 8.
Yeah, and then yeah, because then I did notice they changed the time of the Ultimate Fighter, I think, to 10 o'clock. So the Ultimate Fighter will come on after Dana White's Contender Series tomorrow night, Tuesday. Lot going on
7
there.
p.m., boys.
Oh, 7 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Contender Series? Okay.
Yep.
And then what does the weekend look like? Do you know of anything we have Friday night, anything like that? I'm sure there's something.
I don't think there's any.
No
Yeah,
ONE
they're
FC?
PFL, right? This Friday?
Oh, there is PFL this Friday. Yes. Yep. So
PFL
PFL this
20
Friday.
or something. We got August 16th, the light heavyweights and lightweight playoff.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So
Is
we
that
got
Kasanye?
Impa, yep, Kasangane. Yeah, Impa and Joshua Silvera.
Okay.
Michael Dufort's fighting on there.
Okay, he made the playoff.
Yep. Vigio Ali Walsh, Muhammad Ali's grandson's on there.
So I know Dufort lost, right?
Yeah.
But he still, I guess, had enough points in the PFL system to make their playoff.
He may not be he may not be part of the playoffs. He may just be filling a spot. But he's on the main card though.
If he's on the main card, I would have to assume that has to have some kind of implication.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure though. Not, PFL.
Oh, unless the light heavyweights is Impa and the lightweight is Rob Wilkins. Maybe this is the finals? Oh no, it says playoffs. You're right. It starts at 9, main card, 6:30 early prelims.
Okay. That's Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Something to watch.
Definitely gonna be tuning into that.
Show thing.
And then
Yeah, man, we got Dana White Contender Series tomorrow night at 8. So I'll be
Yeah.
watching that.
Of course, yeah.
That's always good, bro. Always
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
But you
So we
better
gotta-
be tough.
So we're ramping up again. We made it. We're starting to kind of get towards the end of summer. Kids are going back to school. We made it through sometimes what seems like a long summer with the UFC. Like it feels like for whatever reason in the summer sometimes it gets a little spotty.
Even though the summer was the best.
Yeah.
Like May, June, cards were great.
Yeah, well, I mean, May is the card that you just talked about, 301, that was mid, but
300 was May.
that was April.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was April 12th.
Yeah, that was when everything kind of went downhill a little bit.
So which I feel like is to be expected. So hopefully now towards the end of the year, we have a lot of these cards that we're, getting to start look forward to. We talked about them last week, so we don't got to get into that too much this time. But either way, I'm excited for another pay-per-view, not a fight night.
Oh yeah, I did see though that UFC 308 is at 10 a.m.
Really?
That's what it says right here. I was looking at that earlier. It says main card 2 p.m., prelims 10 a.m.
Okay, so that is
the
Poirier
Holloway.
Dustin Poirier Holloway.
Topuria Holloway.
Oh, that's the one in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Or Abu Dhabi. Or
I thought they said that was going to be at a regular time, but it's on ESPN. It says 10 a.m.
So prelims. So that's UFC 308. That's October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the time for that is 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Eastern on a Saturday.
On October 26th, yep.
For Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria.
That's what it says on ESPN. That sucks.
Yikes, dude. Yikes.
Yep, that's rough. I'm going to have to find some way to watch that bad boy.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
We're gonna
You ain't
figure
lying.
it out, cuz. Yeah.
But I wore my Max Holloway shirt.
Yeah.
This will be the last time that I wear this shirt up until October,
I think you wear that on fight day too.
just because.
Yeah. Why not?
I got a special one that says El Matador
Oh
for
my
that
god.
fight.
You got a big
Oh,
old
yeah.
wiener in your mouth for it too?
Oh yeah, El Matador.
You really want him to beat Max?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nah, fuck
Why
no.
not? Do I
No
want him to
way.
beat Max? Yeah, who cares?
I care.
Why?
Because Max deserves to be a champion.
If he beats him, then he deserves it. Up until this point, he hadn't really deserved it because he hadn't won one. It's like Dustin Poirier. It's like saying he deserves to be champion because he was an interim champion one time. Who cares?
And it's the guys that never got the Super Bowl that finally win their first after,
Yeah.
10
That's
seasons.
That's a team sport, dude.
Like
That's
Matt
just different.
Stafford winning his first Super Bowl after all them years in Detroit,
Yeah.
That's how it feels, Max deserves one.
Did Matt Ryan ever win one?
Fuck you. No, he didn't.
Matt Ryan, he never went somewhere else to a legitimate franchise that could win him a Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, damn. At least you have Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix now, so that's good.
Which Michael Penix looked really good
Yeah,
in the
too bad.
preseason game.
Then why are you paying Kirk Cousins fucking however many millions and millions of dollars, huge contract you're paying him?
Because just like we don't know if DDP's going to beat Izzy, we don't know if Kirk Cousins is going to throw touchdowns, brother. We don't know yet, man. We're going to have to find that one out.
True that. So.
But
anyway, look, I don't have much else. It's
I
late
ain't
on
got
a Monday
nothing else
night.
either, man. I'm glad we got together for 305.
Yep.
We should do another live soon.
Yeah, we should. We'll anybody that's listening and follows social medias and stuff, we'll try to plan a live either on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok, maybe. Even though we seem to always get banned on fucking TikTok. Apparently that's a common thing. It's a common thing. Because I was reading this thing this week, like some gamers that stream on TikTok or whatever, fairly certain they get banned pretty often as well. So you say like one suspect thing on Twitter and they just end your life, or on TikTok and they just end your life.
That's crazy, bro.
I know. And we're definitely going to say something suspect. So
every time, dude.
I know.
We're like the AB of podcasting, Just gonna say whatever the fuck's on our mind.
AB, yeah. CT ESPN.
CT
Right.
ESPN, dog. Hashtag over the Octagon.
Right. Yeah. Maybe we can get him to tweet us out as Cracker of the Day. That'd be lit.
Yeah. Like that's what we should do. Like, hey, can the most degenerate podcast be Cracker of the Day?
Yeah. The problem is to get never mind. To get Cracker of the Day, you got to do some cracker ass shit, and I just don't think we're up for that task.
Maybe Nick.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we could maybe employ Nick to try his hardest to get Antonio Brown to make him Cracker of the Day. I feel like that's doable.
Turn the recording on when Nick's around and just don't tell him. We're bound to catch some shit.
That's true.
Fuck
it. But all right, man, it's been fun. It's been real. This Saturday night, UFC 305. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're listening audio only, in the description there is a feature where you can text us. So click that link and let us know that way what your thoughts on UFC 305 are. Drop us some picks. Who do you got in the main event?
To click on Twitter, and these fucking fight shorts for DDP and Izzy are fire.
Oh, I have to check them out right now.
We're about
to
get offline.
do after this.
Look at them.
And look at some custom fight shorts because that's what we live for, baby. Anyway, peace out.
Catch you on the next one.
Catch y'all on the next one. It's been really real.